Hi everybody, many people are asking me how I create those glass objects that you can see in my website and so on. So I decided to create a short video explaining you a little bit more about my technique. And it all starts with the design, which is inspired by all kinds of art forms such as paper art, comics, animation and so on. I do some research, and when I get enough inspirations and ideas, I then create my models, and the models are created out of materials such as cardboard, paper, clay and so on, just to see how it will look in the end. And when I finish the models and I'm happy, I then go to creating my glass molds. The molds are made out of a material called ceramic fiber, and I use this material because it's heat resistant, and when you work with glass you have to only use materials that can be burned into very high temperatures and won't tear apart, won't crumble. So I use this material and it's very easy to work with, cut and so on. The only disadvantage of ceramic fiber is that it's very toxic and you have to wear a respirator all the time when you are working with it. And when I finish creating my molds, I then get to purchasing the glass. I use glass called bullseye glass. It's manufactured in the USA, and I purchase it online or from my supplier in Israel. And I mainly use crushed glass. I mean, this glass comes in many shapes and forms, in glass sheets, glass strings and so on, but I mainly use crushed glass. And this crushed glass is called in the professional jargon glass frits and glass powders, depending on the size of the grains of the glass. And I use this glass, I put it inside the molds. It's very easy to put it inside the molds because it's very fine and little grains. It's like putting sand inside a bucket, so you can create some palace out of sand. So after I put the glass inside my molds, I then fire the glass. I do the glass firing process. I take those molds, I put them inside my glass kilns, and I preset the temperature of the kiln to 580 to 795 degrees Celsius. It's very high temperatures, and it depends on what kind of objects I want to create, what kind of stage. Sometimes I need to put the same object into a few firing schedules depending on what I'm trying to achieve. And when the firing ends, I let the kiln cool down gradually, because if you cool glass down very fast, it will break down, it will get thermal shock and just break down, and you won't get anything out of it. So when it's finished and the glass is cooled down, I take it out of the kiln. I tear apart the molds, which are very easy to be torn apart after the firing. I see what I got. Many times I'm not happy because, you know, in glass many times you don't get what you want and you have to try again and again. But many times I'm happy and I go on with it and try again and do some other things and so on. So hopefully this video gave you some inspiration. And if you want to do your own glass art project, you can always go to a studio of a glass artist and, you know, work with him, learn from him and fire your glass in his kiln. So it's very possible. Hopefully I gave you some inspiration to do so. And in the next video I'm going to show you some other cool things in glass. Hopefully you'll be there, and I hope you enjoyed it. And in the meantime, goodbye.